It's Simply Bitcoin. We break down the daily news from Twitter, the daily fail, the meme review, software releases, and the websites by Plebs. Drop us a like and subscribe. All right, going to the numbers. Okay, we are currently at a block height of 671,763. Current Bitcoin price, 53,760. Chain rewrite days, 610. Total lightning capacity, 1,086.73. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 8.49%. And sats per dollar, still below 2K, 1,860.
It sucks. It sucks. No, it doesn't suck. It's cheaper sats, but it sucks because Satoshi, the Bitcoin chicken, can't cluck because he only clucks when the price of Bitcoin reaches an all-time high. We took quite a bit of a tumble from 56 or 57K to 53K. I have multiple people telling me they stacked when it dipped below 50K, so shout out to them. But honestly, cheaper sats, bro. You know, it's cheaper sats. It's good to consolidate every once in a while. What are your thoughts?
There was a 10K move today.
It was wild.
I mean, no
right?
joke. That was like, that's a 10K fluctuation today. That was insane. And I stacked today. So I stacked this morning. I was able to catch that. That's, it's one of the good things about working from home. Watch the chart all day. So it's great.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. So you're not the only person to tell me that. Everyone bought the dip, everyone bought the dip. That's why the price recovered so quickly. Not that it matters, right? Not that the price matters day to day. That's why we don't talk about it very often. Anyways, Phil, it's time for
the daily fail. All right, everyone. Pretty sure no one's surprised by this. Yellen sounds warning about extremely inefficient Bitcoin. But in this article, she also, she expresses her concern over the fact that Bitcoin is being used for illicit activity because the current currency that, that she helps manage has nothing to do with any illegal activity whatsoever. None at all. Oh, look at that. HSBC moved vast sums of dirty money after paying record laundering fine. Traces of blow found on up to 90% of the dollar bills? No way. No way. Who would have thought? These people are freaking crazy. There's just like these crazy, ridiculous people just making up shit. They're just making shit up. And, everybody sits there and fucking bounces their heads. No. No.
It's absurd. And it just, I don't understand. I don't understand what's wrong with it's like they're not educated and they're bought off. We've already showed you many times, all the banks that essentially paid for Janet Yellen to just speak. She made millions of dollars off of that, of just speaking fees, right? There's no corruption to see here, but I find it absolutely hilarious. And clearly she's either not well read on Bitcoin or she's being insincere because she knows the threat that it is to the current establishment, which we'll get to in the news segment of the show. But yeah, total fail. Anyways, Phil, it's time for
the daily meme review.
All right, everybody, the meme review. Our scoring metrics are kind of messed up, Phil, so I don't know. Are we just going to go back to the usual? Are we going to add some now? Because it's all changed up since yesterday's episode.
All my metrics, all of them are completely, they're all completely broken. I've got nothing.
I don't know.
Like all of our models are fucked. Well, our metrics are fucked too.
Our metrics are fucked. Our metrics are fucked. And for anyone who's wondering what we're talking about, watch Sunday's episode where we interview the Bitcoiners who started the laser ray until 100K. Super epic. Anyways, if you want us to review your meme, join our Telegram channel. Telegram channel down below. Click the link. Join that, and we'll review your meme. Anyways, today's meme is brought to us by DYOR_FUD. The best meme. Please clap. You do not fit in here. Okay, we will make our own place. Why are you excluding us? Fuck off. Okay. You guys might have laughed way before and just like, shut up and get to the rating. but we had to get all that the word salad out of the way. Anyways, Phil, that made me laugh. It was strong. I'm gonna give that a 9, and my score is a 9 and a stick man. And what about you?
Yeah. So look, the meme lords are going to hate me, but that's okay. I've built up a lot of animosity there. But look, I totally think it's great. You don't have to be a Bitcoiner to understand it, which is fantastic. Okay. That's why I think it can spread. I am actually going to give it a toque, whatever that's worth. And it also gets a 9.
A 9. Hell
so
yeah.
There you go. 2
okay.
And a 9.
Two and a 9 and Stickman and a 9. Those are the new scores.
These are some good scores.
You can take it as this is the official Simply Bitcoin highly accredited scoring system that we're going by. Totally a bad joke. Anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily News, sponsored by Crypto Cloaks.
All right, everybody. The news for today, it's a Monday, so it's kind of slow, but you know what? There's always news in Bitcoin. So check this out. Stick with me. I have a little bit of a story to tell. Anyways, look, you guys know this. Everyone know this. 57% of Americans think companies should accept Bitcoin as payment. And this is coming on the heels of what Janet Yellen said today, basically as, Bitcoin being very inefficient. If it was very inefficient, let the free market do what the free market does, then no one would use Bitcoin, right? So why are people using Bitcoin? Why is the price where it's at right now? I'll get to that in a second. Peter McCormack kind of described exactly why Bitcoin is much more efficient than the system we have today. My bank has written to tell me, to me, telling me that they are closing all of the 4 accounts I have with them. 65 days notice, no reason given. I have banked with them for 25 years. All accounts are in surplus. The same bank rejected my business account application. And he said, following up, probably a Bitcoin thing, right? And there's loads of comments saying essentially the same thing happened to them because that person happened to be associated with Bitcoin. And it's crazy because it's not like these banks or these, political institutions or banking institutions, financial institutions, whatever type of institution. It's not like, like Phil showed, it's not like they have the cleanest slate. They money launder for the Mexican cartels, no problem. Right. And it's not like they're neutral. They stopped taking political contributions to a certain, political side because of what happened, the events that happened in January. So it's not like these banks are impartial, they're very partial, and these are the people that essentially are in control of the money. And this article written by Alex Gladstein, Can Government Stop Bitcoin, perfectly describes exactly what the issue is here, right? And I'm quoting his article. It's so awesome. It says the mainstream media typically portrays Bitcoin as a penny stock gone wild or a new kind of digital tulip mania, but the reality is Bitcoin is a political project that threatens to fundamentally disrupt the Davos-led economic system. When he says Davos, he's talking about the World Economic Forum. And the World Economic Forum are the crazy mother effers that come up with the advertising that says you will own nothing and be happy by 2030. And this young guy smiling, like it's the psychopaths, right? But the reality is, to continue the quote, but the reality is Bitcoin is a political project that threatens to fundamentally disrupt the Davos-led economic system, with everyone from Janet Yellen to Christine Lagarde expressing fear about its rise and demanding it to be regulated. Hey, guess what? It cannot be regulated. And this article goes on to point out exactly what the problem is. Governments retain their power in part by issuing and controlling the money. Bitcoin is a new model that mints and secures money without governments, essentially putting everyone on a playing field. And what happens when you put everyone on an even playing field? You don't get people like Peter McCormack that, just happen to make a living off of a Bitcoin podcast, whether you agree with it or not. his accounts being shut down. You don't have political, political people that have a political certain bias having their accounts shut down because the powers that be don't agree with it. You don't have immigrants that, go to a certain country, but because they're from, a certain country that's sanctioned by, the US weaponizing the dollar, they can't have certain bank accounts in those countries, right? That is what Bitcoin is for. That is why Bitcoin will win, because Bitcoin doesn't care where you're from, what your color is, what your race is, what your political ideology is. It doesn't care. Anyone can have a Bitcoin wallet. That's the strength of Bitcoin. It doesn't care. It's immutable. Governments can't stop it, right? So yes, it's totally a threat to their system. Of course, they're going to say the things that they're saying, inefficient, it's dangerous, money laundering, even though we've caught them red-handed, okay? We know that's not the case. We know that criminals for a fact prefer the dollar. It's horrible to use Bitcoin. It's like perfectly traceable forever and ever. A dollar is it, so, and the facts back that up. So like the amount of lies and the amount of propaganda that's trying to prop up this already failed system that's being printed into oblivion is just, it's going to be insane, right? And the bank closures, I feel like that's going to accelerate. And Phil, we're going to get to a point, I think, in my opinion, that, man, you're going to have to decide. You're going to have to come to terms that Bitcoin is taking over. You don't have a choice. No amount of regulation that you're going to put onto it is going to slow this puppy down, right? Once you understand that it's not, people are not into it a lot of people are not into it for the speculative reasons. They're into it for the sovereignty. They're into it for the exact reasons that Peter McCormack is into it. You can't shut it down for no freaking reason, period. Right. And that's what these central bankers, that's what they will never understand, because they love that authority. They need that authority. Right. So, Phil, I know I just blotted out and there's a lot of words, but what are your thoughts on the injustices that we have with our current system?
So just a couple of short points, right? First off, no major amount of money moves without any of these entities knowing. Okay. So they facilitate all the money laundering that goes on around the world. That I'm sorry, right? Like it's not the random gangster, that's like living in some hood that's like managing to move like these hundreds of millions of dollars for people. I'm sorry, it just isn't. Okay. So it's like we shouldn't just pretend, so they know about every penny that moves. So that's the first part. The second part is that this ridiculousness, Janet Yellen specifically mentioned, okay, that Bitcoin is used for illicit activity, okay, because it is hard to trace. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's mind-boggling. Like, these people in these high positions can't even afford a proper freaking research team, like, to mount an argument. It's just sad. It's so sad. Anyways, yeah, I don't really, at this point, this is just going to be, this is more of the then they fight you stage, and it's getting louder and louder. And the reason why the mainstream media downplays Bitcoin and jokes about it and makes it look funny is the main reason they do that with a lot of important messaging. It's so that you won't take it seriously and you'll see it as a joke. And that's pretty much their only trick now. Like, everybody knows that they print money. So now the only thing they can try to do is a social attack. And yeah, I think they're going to totally fail on that, because nobody memes like the Bitcoin meme lords. So
no, yeah, absolutely.
They're totally going to.
No one me and you kind of say that as a joke, right? You kind of say that as a joke, but in all seriousness, it's true, because the memers are the ones that kind of shine a light of truth onto their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be fun to cover here on Simply Bitcoin. Anyways, Phil, there was a website by Plebe. Yep. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Websites by Plebs. Okay, so we are at casebitcoin.com/critiques. And really, this is just a great all-around website, but I went to the critiques page specifically because this is pretty cool. This is like a whole listing of all the random FUD that gets used about Bitcoin, and it has the answers there. So chances are you're going to run into all this FUD, right? Bitcoin is used by criminals. Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. You know what I mean? Bitcoin is too volatile. Bitcoin wastes too much energy. Anyways, check out this website. It can help you out with, number one, learn more about Bitcoin for yourself. Number two, possibly get to win an argument logically rather than ending it with have fun staying poor. You know, you might actually get the person to be like, you know what? Maybe I'll get some corn instead of like the anger, like you're not going to get this. You're going to stay poor and I'm walking away.
No, it's
anyways. The link is down below in the show notes.
Thanks, Phil. No, it's absolutely true. Man, I wish I had that cheat sheet because that's really what it is. It's a cheat sheet for Thanksgiving.
Oh my God.
Thanksgiving dinner. It's like the cheat sheet. It's like your old uncle's like, no, it's the old man yelling at the sky, Homer Simpson meme. And you're like, I got my cheat sheet. I know what to say. But awesome website by a plebe. We don't know if it's by a plebe, but it looks like it's for plebes. So it's a website for plebes. Anyways, that was our show, guys. If you like today's episode, I know it's a little slow. I know it's a little different. Okay, yesterday we were going 100 miles an hour. Today we're going 20 because it's Monday. We're starting off the week. It's just there's not that much news today, but we try to make the best of it. Anyways, guys, if you liked the episode, regardless, don't forget to smash that like button. Help us on the journey to defeat all the shitcoin channels, because that's what we want to do here on Simply Bitcoin. And if you love the show, don't forget to subscribe. It helps us out a bunch. And of course, we will see you tomorrow for another episode of Simply Bitcoin.